Cancer. My name is Echo, and thank you so much for joining me for your April 2025 tarot reading. We are moving through a Mercury retrograde until the middle of April, so be sure you're saving any files that you're working with and be wary of issues with technology as well as the potential for any miscommunication. We did have a solar eclipse on March 29th, so the energy is a little hectic for everybody right now. If you have a lot of buzzy energy, a lot of, we'll say almost like manic energy going on, that's okay. Don't worry, it's going to pass. So go ahead and check out that solar eclipse video if you haven't right here on my channel and see how that's going to impact you. So I just want to continue with this reading, Cancer, and see what we have coming for you in the month of April. Starting off, you have this card that says adult children. So you may be dealing with somebody in the household who is just became an adult, someone who was long past that cusp and is living with you, but you are considering not looking at them, or I will say dealing with the energy of not looking at them like they are a kid anymore. They are your child, whether it was by marriage or, by birth. You are the birth parent. You are looking at their situation and you just want to prepare them for the best. I feel this is someone, because Cancer is a homebody, you're all about family. I really feel like this is someone who's looking into how your adult child has grown and you're kind of morphing how you're going to traverse those waters and your communication style with them. You may be butting heads at this time, and it may not be you, Cancer. It may be just something in their energetic field. If they are just moving into adulthood, such as being in their late teens, just bear with them, because there's a lot of hormonal changes in that period of our life. And our moods do kind of tend to turn on a dime. So it's very important that we don't take anything that is said to us to heart if it was said just out of anger or out of emotion, right? Because they're just learning to get a hold of those things, but do let them know that it bothers you, because otherwise they're really not learning, right? And keeping those lines of communication are very important, because that's what lets our adult children reach back and talk to us throughout our lives whenever they come into a problem. Just because they move out of our household doesn't mean they stop being our children. So let's continue with this reading, Cancer. You have the Creator. So while you are dealing with this adult child, you are considering that which you have created, not only for them, but if you have perhaps any other children, what kind of life are you creating them? What kind of relationship do you harbor with them? At the same time, you may also be working on what projects you're working on, because while they're contemplating how busy they are, they may be complaining to you how they're always working. They don't want to do this chore, that chore. They want to go do this, that. Hang out with friends, maybe spend time to relax. You're kind of on the go, and you're wondering when you're going to have time to create things for yourself, either like a literal project or just your overall life. What life are you creating, not only for your children, them and any other children, but for yourself? So this is really more about your reality and how you're addressing it every day. I feel like this isn't so much zeroing in on the situation with your children, but the bigger picture, you could say. Next, with the Moon Phase Oracle deck, you have boundaries. So your child or somebody in your life who is impacting your ability to create the life that you want may be pushing boundaries right now. This may also be challenging you to push some boundaries, because sometimes life has a way of putting limits on us that we cannot overcome, okay? That which we cannot change. But it doesn't help when we are putting limits on ourselves. Oh, I can't do this because this person said so, that person said so. I'll never be successful, because of my age, or because no one's opening doors for me. Listen, sometimes there is no boundary but the one we put on ourselves, okay? So being your own naysayer is not going to help. You know your limits. I have a feeling you already know what your limits are, what you can and cannot do, and you're kind of dealing with a headspace or an energy that somebody put you in. It could be someone you're currently dealing with, and just the way they talk to you, the way they address you every day, maybe they're disrespectful, or somebody in your past said something that was very limiting for you. So whoever this is for, be sure that you're not letting anyone else set those boundaries for you, and be comfortable with challenging your own boundaries, right? Because that's how we grow, stepping outside of our comfort zone and trying new things. So if you feel inspired at this time to address your own boundaries and maybe try something new, be brave, do something new and exciting, I would do it. I would do it. And if you are being limited by something legitimately and you feel that, that's okay. Go with the flow. Sometimes when doors close for us, it's because the universe is trying to open up a new one for us, right? And they really want your attention to go through that door. So let's continue with this reading. I want to see what else we have for my Cancer. What else do you have for Cancer in the month of April? You have the Knight of Wands reversed, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles reversed. Now, reversals are not a bad thing. I just want to point this out because there are some people who view them that way, saying that it makes the card or it makes the reading negative. I just want to let you know that I do a cleansing and a brief meditation before anything that asks the negative energy to leave and invites the good energy in, because we're trying to get messages from spirit at this time and we don't need that kind of interruption. So when a card is read upside down, this is actually not a bad thing. It's just changing the way it applies to your life, not necessarily its definition, okay? So the Knight of Wands in reverse says there is a lack of passion at this time. There might be a lack of passion because you're putting so much into what's going on in the home space and you're looking to create a life of your own, but you're not really sure how to go about it. So there's a little bit of caught up in your head space energy here and not so much following the heart space, which is the wands, the fire, the passion that we're looking for, right? So the Knight of Wands is telling you maybe you're not leading with passion at this time because you're not meant to. You're in a headspace for a reason. So it's asking you, if you're in a headspace or you are being held back and you lack that oomph, maybe there's a reason. Maybe you need to stop and slow down and take care of yourself before you jump in with both feet. Maybe you need to dip a little toe in the water before you jump in, right? Because if you're being inspired to hold back on a gut level at some point, there's got to be a reason why. And only you can answer that for yourself. Only you can see what that boundary is. Here you have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands depicts a celebration. This could be a literal celebration, such as a wedding or finally seeing some achievement come to fruition that you have been hoping would come about, right? This could be for yourself or somebody around you and it impacts you. So like a spouse gets a new job or, and it helps take care of things so you can feel a little free to do the things that you do love and chase that passion and be the creator. Or maybe there's just some sort of marriage of new energy where a situation falls into place that gives your passion back. In any case, I just want to point out in this card, we do have the rune of Berkano at the base. Berkano is all about things that are beautiful, very feminine energy, things that are loving, things that give back, a very bountiful, a very full, happy, fulfilled is the word I'm looking for. Fulfilled energy. It's a very beautiful energy. So if you have something about you that is sort of a sigh of relief at this time and does give you creative passion back and make you feel more free to chase after the things you want, I would say go with this because Spirit is encouraging you to recapture that and not put limits on yourself, just from what I'm seeing in these cards so far. Next, you have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Pentacles are about things we can touch, things we can see, the very material realm. So this can impact your finances. Maybe there's a debt or something about a job. We are readdressing the balance at this time, and lately you have been feeling a little bit imbalanced with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. The rune on this card, let me turn this upright, is Raido. Raido means to ride, to move forward. It's all about the journey. It's about the wheel. So something about your journey has been hindered at this time, and you are being called to readdress that balance. Maybe the way you were thinking about things was putting energy out there that was holding you back and creating this boundary. Maybe you're needing to pay off a debt and get it out of the way so you can go forward and do that which you desire. But there is a boundary that's being addressed at this time. And I see that this passion is going to be what helps you create a way past it, okay? So let's continue with this reading. I want to see, what does Cancer maybe not see coming in the month of April? What do we not see coming? You have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So Eight of Cups is all about having that which you desire, having that which you deserve, coming to a full bounty, because cups are also heart-based, like the passion of the wands. These are more the emotional side, okay? So I'm seeing that there is going to be a bit of a heartache for you at some point throughout the month. Nothing you can't handle. It's just like you didn't expect something to go the way that it did, and it kind of upset you. So while a new opportunity is opening up in here, which is what we're seeing, we're getting that passion back, you're having to let something go. You're having to, like, you've lost your taste for something and you're having to just say, okay, this wasn't helping me. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I'm hearing like parting is such sweet sorrow. It's time to let whatever this is that's been hurting you go. Okay, so you're parting with something that you realize was not fulfilling you in the way that you wanted it to. It wasn't bringing you joy, but you're letting this go. And sometimes we do need to let those cups pour out so we can start fresh. Okay, what blessings does Cancer have in the month of April? What blessings do you have for Cancer? We have the King of Wands in reverse, and there's your Knight of Wands in reverse. So the blessings are going to be coming from that that King of Wands in reverse. King of Wands is the fiery, passionate, go ahead energy, raw. He is the guy who charges in and makes things happen, right? But given that this is in your blessing position and it is reversed, it's like this lack of passion is going to be the final push you need. Like, you're going to have a moment where it's time for someone to get up off their you know what and make things happen. You're tired of being in the lull. You're tired of being down in the doldrums. And that lack of passion is going to be what encourages you to go for something that you are passionate about, something that does make you happy and bring you those cups. And maybe let go of something somebody told you you should be excited for. Excuse me, let me get that card. You're going to be able to let go of someone else's rhetoric and what someone else thinks you should be doing so you can chase someone that you're genuinely being called for. I can almost see like someone being called to something very specific. Maybe something you've kicked around once or twice, an idea that you wanted to go ahead with. You may even discover a new passion at this time, like something, a new calling, I guess you could say. So I just want to see what advice do you have for my Cancer in the month of April? You have the Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles could be depicted as a person who is holding on too tight to something, being a little too greedy, looking after just the status quo, right? In other tarot decks, I have seen this as an individual literally clutching a chest or sitting on a chest to protect what is theirs. The Four of Pentacles actually says to me, for you, you're not really so worried about holding on to that which is yours so tightly, but it's almost like if I can't have it, no one can. So you're being advised at this time not to give up your power, not to give up your passion for the sake of others, okay? Because you do need to look after yourself and take care of yourself at this time, Cancer. You do need to maintain a sort of status quo. We are talking about readdressing the balance, and here you are with that Four of Pentacles, which is also Two of Pentacles with the balance. You are looking to retain what really matters to you, but it has to pay back dividends. It has to give you something that's real time. So this could be talking in general about a job that really isn't serving you. It's not bringing you any joy. It's not even something you really want to do. Now you want something that's going to pay you what you're worth and not just the status quo. Your new definition of what matters to you, of what you are worth, is what you're going to take, and you're not settling for anything less. So I just want to draw a rune for you, Cancer, and see what you have coming this month. And I do draw these at random. So let me take a look here. Let's take this one. Okay. So the rune you have here is the rune of Wunyo. Wunyo is the rune of joy, that which truly makes you happy, which is all over this reading as we're talking about how you're addressing boundaries and looking to create a new status quo, something that does pay you back and create balance in your life. This could be something from spending time with your adult children, just walking them through a life lesson. Hey, I know you're going to buy this car. Let me tell you why this car might be more beneficial for long travel, or it's better on gas, or it's safer. And that's a good bonding moment for the two of you because you're teaching them an adult lesson rather than letting life teach them, right? Because who wants to be stranded on the side of the road with a car that they thought was cool and this cool looking car just pooped out on them? Or maybe you are, still bringing them on the family vacation, even though they're talking about moving out, because they are still part of the family and you want to remind them. But there is a joyous situation happening for you in April that's going to readdress the status quo and kind of smooth things out, calm things down, like a breath of fresh air is what I'm hearing for you. So this is going to be a wonderful spring for you, a great way to start off the season. And this is a great reading, Cancer. My name is Echo, and I'm wishing you a happy April. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time.